this is you, and this is Uncle Jiang, and this is, I don't know who this is. Now, you're probably wondering why you're a baby slung to some guy's chest, running away from a bunch of ninjas trying to kill you. Well, I'd like to know that too. This is where winds meet. A free-to-play, online, open-world, co-op, Wuxia action role-playing game developed by Everstone Studios and published by NetEase for the PC, PS5, and eventually mobile for global. This game was already released in China in 2024 and just recently came to global now in November 2025. And I'll be honest, there are a lot of things I like and a lot of things I find troubling. But let's start at the beginning. You already know that you're trying to escape someone as a little baby, and this is one of the best intro cinematics and tutorial sequences I have ever experienced. You're taken on a railroad chase on horseback, shooting flaming arrows while blocking and dodging enemies at the same time. Then we're given the chance to fight this intimidating, huge character, the Void King, and get to learn the intricacies of the combat system. You have your usual basic and heavy attacks and the addition of 2 abilities for your current weapon. On top of that, you have access to the Mystic skills, which all do completely different and interesting things. Like the Lion's Roar, for example, which brought me back to Kung Fu Hustle. You can block, dodge, and deflect attacks, which provide a skill aspect to the combat. And before anyone says anything, yes, I enabled the assist deflector. I am not good at Souls-like games, and I didn't feel like spending hours learning enemy mechanics to time deflects. Sue me. The attack animations and deflects look amazing, and the different abilities of the various martial arts allow you to craft a build for your character based on your preferred playstyle. You get access to 2 different weapons on top of your bow. These weapons can be melee or ranged, focusing on DPS, healing, or tanking. So you could use a sword martial arts whose abilities provide a lot of mobility, moving you in and out of range of your enemy, pairing that with a spear that can immobilize and provide a buff. Range options are the umbrella, which can heal and shoot needles and can spin in place, dealing damage, to then switching to a fan that can create a barrier and tornadoes to keep your enemies back and tear them apart. There is a lot of variety here in weapon selection, so you can test and mix and match to your heart's content. Overall, I really enjoyed the combat in this game. I feel amazing when I'm faced against a giant group of enemies and when I manage to deflect all their attacks, which in turn burns through their stamina, which opens up a takedown for me to absolutely just clean house. It's just a fantastic experience. But anyways, back to the story. We fast forward and we're living in this small village with the uncle, and we're taken to the character creator. Now, while we're only allowed to change the face, the system itself is one of the most in-depth creators, in the same vein as a game like Chrono Odyssey. There is a gallery as well, so you can just take someone else's creation if you're too lazy to make your own and don't want to use the presets. And I'll be honest, people like usual have taken this creative freedom and ran with it.
What the hell is even that?
So then we finally start the game, get ambushed, get our jade pendant stolen, and we chat with the first NPC we meet, Ruby. This is where I start to see the cracks in the game. I've been using the English voice acting, and I'm not sure if it's like this for the Chinese dub, but the audio mixing is atrocious in this game. Characters will talk over each other. They might not even be voiced for one line, but voiced for the next. Audio might skip over or even repeat sequences again. There are certain quests that are voiced, but some characters aren't voiced, or a quest will start unvoiced and then a random NPC will be voiced. I have no clue who was in charge of the voice acting development of this game, but they did a horrible job.
You said there was a man in black?
Forget it.
So, like,
It's
where
nothing.
is he?
Just a dream.
Finished your brew, Wine Guardian? What's the deal with your friend here?
Shan. It was Brother Pan who he even brought back her since she didn't make it back, or she may be gone.
But maybe that was my fault for thinking that the English voice acting would be decent. I'll be honest, I feel like a lot of them were AI, if not all of them, but I have no proof of that, just a sneaking suspicion, which I don't really care if it's AI as long as it works, but in this case it doesn't. So this game was released in 2024, announced in 2022, and it had a 2 to 3 year period of development utilizing their own personal Messiah engine, which also incorporates a little of Unreal Engine 5. The game looks beautiful, but it feels at times bad to move in, especially when you're traversing over areas that have different heights, like up a random step or rock or climbing boxes, using F to interact with things like opening doors or squeezing through cracks. It just doesn't feel good. This didn't feel or look like a modern game. There's just a feeling of unpolished ticks that I found jarring as I explored the world. Okay, so continuing with the story, and at this point, if you don't want to be spoiled, I will just skip ahead and I'll leave a timestamp somewhere. So we start following Ruby, meet a bunch of different characters, learn about some guy named Killer Blade, which will probably show up eventually, and then we start serving wine at our aunt's place. I felt really bored with the story at this point. It was really slow at the start, it was little to no combat, and I was losing interest fast. But still, pushing on, we eventually do meet Killer Blade, and after some more walking and talking, things start to ramp up, and the whole sequence of this main story got kind of insane. As we plan to leave the village, an assassin group starts to invade the town, and then we have a moment with Killer Blade, which just showed the absolute aura we have as the main character.
You expect me to wait? I'm done waiting. You want me to bend? I was born to defy.
You stubborn mule. Seriously? I'll break your damn legs!
Go ahead. Break them. I'll crawl if I have to.
We are literally him. And the fight sequences in these cutscenes are insanely good. The choreograph for the fights are amazing and literal movie quality. And then we get to the sacrifices and even more fight sequences, which I just want to show the whole thing. I'll show like a little tidbit of it just to show how amazing it was, but I want you to experience it yourself with your own character.
I can smell it from here. Still haven't had any yet.
Jars of 10-year parting tears wine. My treat, Blade.
What's up?
I was literally hooked throughout the whole story, and the people that I didn't care about at the start, I learned to love by the end, and it was just so good. Especially that last fight sequence of this quest is so good. Just had to get through the slog of the start to experience the fantastic climax. If you love Wuxia and martial art type stories and shows, you'll definitely enjoy this. That is until we hit the level cap, because for some reason, developers wanted to slow people down and cap the main story at certain levels that they increased the next day, which I found really odd and slightly annoying. But also at the same time, I thought it was a great idea because it allowed us more time to explore the world and experience everything that it had. Side quests, pretty interesting most of the time, very witty, provides really fun rewards like new martial arts or skills. Then we have the dungeons, which all look really bad in my opinion. They're usually just long hallways that don't even allow you to use your lightness skills, so no double jump, sprinting is limited, and it was just annoying. There is a healing skill and a debate skill, which has a card minigame that you can do, which I found really fun. And then the usual open world collectibles that you can find and gather while you unlock this huge ass map. Did I mention that the game was free to play? Oh, and one of the coolest systems in this game is their version of flight, which is just a martial art that launches you into the sky, allowing you to fly through the whole area. But of course, you have to earn that privilege for each area. The developers want you to experience the area first by foot before you can just fly everywhere, which makes a lot of sense to me. So after spending a lot of time with Where Winds Meet, I ended up in this weird space where I'm both impressed and frustrated at the same time. The game has these incredible highs that genuinely surprised me, especially after that slow, kind of awkward beginning. When this game is really ramping up, the wild choreographed fights, the emotional story moments, and the absolute chaos of deflecting a dozen enemies at once, it is one of the coolest Wuxia experience I have ever played. But then you hit the lows, and man, some of those lows are really rough. The audio issues alone had me wondering if my headphones were broken, characters talking over each other, random lines not being voiced, weird repeats. It pulls you out of the moment every time. Then there's the movement and general polish of the world. It looks visually great, but actually navigating it feels kind of dated. The stiffness when interacting with anything in this game really breaks my immersion. But even with all that said, the story eventually won me over. The world is massive. The side content is actually pretty fun. Combat is great. And the game gives you this sense of fantastic freedom and spectacle. And for a free-to-play game, that's honestly crazy. If the developers continue polishing the rough edges, keep improving the performance and audio, and continue expanding the content, Where Winds Meet could become one of the best games out there. As it stands right now, it's flawed, it's messy, it's frustrating, and still is absolutely worth your time. Thanks for watching. My name's been Suka. Do like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.